This channel is for adults and not for kids. Hey my friends, thanks for stopping back by. So today is May 27th, and that means it's Vincent Price's birthday. Not only is it Vincent Price's birthday, but it's also Christopher Lee's birthday. And yesterday was Peter Cushing's birthday, so that's super cool. The trio of terror and all their birthdays are right next to each other. So in honor of the boys, I am going to be watching movies with the three of them in it tonight. I picked out my 3 favorite Vincent Price movies, and I was going to talk to you guys about them. And then there's a couple other movies so that I can watch the Hammer Stars also. So first up, this is my Blu-ray from Arrow. This is The Pit and the Pendulum. This is a really fun movie. This is Roger Corman firing on all cylinders. Vincent Price chewing up every scene he's in. The production design in this film is awesome. The way all the sets look, the way everything's lit, it's gorgeous. And this is based, obviously, on Edgar Allan Poe. You get to see Barbara Steele get her comeuppance in this one. She gets what she deserves in this film, and that alone is worth the price of admission. That's a really fun horror movie. This one is really cool. I like this one even more than that one. This is my Blu-ray from Arrow of The Haunted Palace, and this is based on H.P. Lovecraft. Vincent Price basically plays 2 roles in this thing, and that's awesome. They basically took the stories of Charles Dexter Ward and The Shadow over Innsmouth, and they shoved them together, and this is what you get. So in The Shadow over Innsmouth, the deep ones are mating with the women to make like a race of half monster people to serve Dagon and Cthulhu, and to have a bunch of inbred, or not inbred, but half-breed like monster people to be like slaves. And that's in this film too. But you know, the makeup wasn't all that great, so some of the people just don't have a mouth, some of them don't have eyes. They look all fucked up, but you know, you don't have like full-on animatronic fish faces, but still it's pretty cool. What this movie does have is they mention Cthulhu in this film, but it's basically another old one, another elder god that's being worshipped in this film. And when they show him, it's probably a rubber puppet that's only about that big, but it's a cool looking little 4-armed green monster, and he's down in this pit lit up with green lights, and they make the camera lens kind of wavy. And god damn it, if I don't buy that monster every time I watch this film. I love that creature. It's very cool looking to me. So like I said, he plays 2 characters in this thing. He plays Charles Dexter Ward, and then he plays like his great-great-great-grandfather, what's his name? Oh yeah, Joseph Curwen. And basically Joseph Curwen's spirit is residing in this castle, and he needs a new body to inhabit. So they basically get Vincent Price to come out to the castle that he has now inherited, and the plan is for the ghost of the great-great-great-grandfather to possess him, to overtake him, so he can live out his life again. In this film, as he's worshiping that monster, he's trying to resurrect his dead love. And this woman is gorgeous. If you guys have ever seen Curse of the Werewolf with Oliver Reed, she's in that. Her name is Yvonne Romaine. Buddy, she is hot. Jesus Christ, look at that. She is just fucking gorgeous. She's like this brunette bombshell. I mean, there's Vincent Price's wife in the movie, and she's cute. She's a pretty lady, but god damn. Yeah, Yvonne is gorgeous. And she was also, like I said, in Curse of the Werewolf with Oliver Reed. She plays the hot mute girl that can't talk. Super cool. But yeah, Vincent Price, it's really cool because he plays two different roles. And he'll be Charles Dexter Ward 1 minute, and then when his grandfather takes him over and his eyebrow shoots up and he's got that wild look in his eyes, and his whole like body posturing changes, and the way he talks changes. It's really cool to watch him go from one character to another, and it's so much fun when he's evil. This is such a good film. Yeah, this is a fun one. This is Roger Corman and Vincent Price doing H.P. Lovecraft stuff. Like I said, they mention Cthulhu. The monster that he's worshiping isn't Dagon. It's not Cthulhu. I don't think they ever mention which great old one or which elder god it is, but it's a very cool looking little monster. And yeah, Vincent Price, who was a wizard, a sorcerer, a necromancer, a warlock, is trying his best to appease this monster and resurrect his long-lost love. And he's trying to take over his great-great-great-grandson's body so he can live out his life with said hot girl. And you can't really blame him. But that is a really fun one. I love that movie. Again, the production design looks awesome. The castle looks great. The costumes look great. You know, they didn't have a lot of money on those Roger Corman movies, but god damn it, if that little green monster isn't so cool looking, the way it's shot and the lights. I really dig that film a lot. Okay, up next, this is my favorite Vincent Price movie of all time. And it is the sole reason I bought this Vincent Price box set. The Last Man on Earth, which was this is the first movie adaptation of Matheson's I Am Legend. This is the best version. The Omega Man with Charlton Heston is good. It's fun. I like it a lot. It's very 1970s grindhouse drive-in 70s fun. I like it a lot. And yes, Charlton Heston is more the image that you come up with in your head when you read the book. When you read the story, actually, you know what? I think more of somebody like Steve McQueen is kind of the mental image I get when you read the book. But Charlton Heston is he's closer to that than Vincent Price. But damn it, if Vincent Price doesn't do his damnedest in this one, because you know it's more of like an action type role, a physical type role, and that's not really what Vincent Price did. But he's really good in it, and he pulls it off. The vampires in this are done really, really cool. This came out a couple years before George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, and even Romero has said that the vampires in this definitely influenced the way that his zombies looked, his ghouls. So the vampires in this don't run around with fangs. They do in the book, but not in this one. They look like Romero zombies. They are sort of grayish with dark circles under their eyes. There's a great scene with Vincent Price's wife in this that the very first time you watch this film is like a oh shit type of moment. It's done pretty scary. It's really cool. So when COVID first hit, you guys remember how there was like no traffic on the roads? Yeah, it looked like you were the last man on Earth. There was two films I watched a lot of during the height of COVID, and that was The Last Man on Earth, with all the deserted streets and the way everything was like shut down and there was no one around, and Romero's Night of the Living Dead. I watched those two films enough already on their own, but yeah, right when, like in 2020, right when COVID like hit and every fucking thing in the world shut down, I watched those two films a lot, and it just kind of felt right. And in this movie, it's an Italian horror movie. It's in black and white. It's filmed in Italy. It's supposed to be San Francisco, like in the book, but it's in Italy. But it's got cool vampires. It's very memorable. I like this film a lot. Anyway, that one's in the public domain, and you can see that on YouTube all day long. But I wanted a really cleaned up, pristine copy of it, so that's why I got this box set, so I can have a Blu-ray version of The Last Man on Earth. And it's such a fun film. Yeah, I really love that film a lot. That's my favorite Vincent Price movie of all time. Even though he was sort of a bad fit for that character, he pulls it off, and the movie is really cool. If you guys have never read that book, I Am Legend by Richard Matheson, man, you should read it. It's so good. So yeah, I love this version, and then I like the Omega Man, and I don't even talk about that Will Smith piece of shit. I don't own it. I don't want it. It's crap. All the vampires are all like CG, and they look like crap, and that's just junk. Yeah, not a fan of that. I am a fan of this, and I am a big time fan of the Richard Matheson story, I Am Legend, and you guys should check that out. Something that's cool that they just sort of barely mention it in this movie. In the book, in the story, I Am Legend, World War III happens. And when all the nukes go off, it creates these crazy dust storms that blow all over the place. And it irradiates the particles of sand. And that's what carries the contagion around. And there's only one little piece of dialogue in this movie that sort of mentions it. Vincent Price asks his wife something like, she couldn't sleep, and he's like, is it the winds? And she's like, it always is. But they never really mention, why. But yeah, I don't even think they had that in the Charlton Heston in the Omega Man. I don't think at least I don't remember them mentioning the sandstorms. But it's a great book. You should check it out. This is a great movie. You really should check this out. Watch The Omega Man too. That's a fun one also. Creature of the Wheel. Yeah, good times. So those are my 3 favorite Vincent Price movies. Yeah, the way that Matheson describes the character in the book is more of like Steve McQueen. That's the sort of mental image you get. Not Vincent Price, but Price does an amazing job in it. Okay, so I will be watching The Last Man on Earth tonight, and I will be watching Madhouse. Madhouse is fun because it's Vincent Price and Peter Cushing in the same movie, and it's fun. Yeah, if you guys have never seen this one, you guys should check this one out. It's just really neat to see the two of them interacting. You've got Vincent Price from like the AIP Roger Corman school, and then you've got Peter Cushing from Hammer, and it's just neat, those two, Hammer and Roger Corman coming together for this cool film. Cinematography in this is really cool. It's got some spooky scenes of like a foggy English village and gardens, spooky stuff. It's very cool. That's a fun one. So I'll be watching that tonight. And then last up, this is my favorite Christopher Lee Dracula movie. It's the first one. This is my Blu-ray. It's an English Blu-ray, so you need a region-free player. Over there in England, it was just called Dracula. Over here, it's called Horror of Dracula. Christopher Lee, man, he just knocks it out of the park in this one. Christopher Lee is my favorite movie Dracula. When I was a little kid, my favorite Dracula was Bela Lugosi. But then once I hit about junior high, I really started to appreciate Christopher Lee's performance more. And he's so commanding in the role. And he's so ferocious. And he has those crazy red eyes. And he's got the fangs. And he looks incredible as Dracula. And yeah, this is an amazing movie. Out of all the Hammer Draculas, this is the one I like the best. The first one. And he's amazing in it. It's funny, though, that out of all the times he played Dracula, the only time they ever got his look right was in the Jess Franco Dracula, where Christopher Lee has these, the gray silver hair and the silver gray mustache. And he's got his fangs all the time. That's how he's described in the book, with a cruel-looking mouth and white, sharp, pointed teeth. And it's not like he hides it. He looks like a vampire all the time. And then he progressively gets younger-looking as the story goes on. And it's just funny that out of all the Hammer films that that Jess Franco, he got the look right, and I think that's very, very cool. Jess Franco is kind of a weird one because he will just make an amazing movie and then like 6 or 7 shit films right after that, and then make another amazing film. Like he just kept pumping out movies, and it's kind of a crapshoot. I love a lot of his films, but then some of his films are just like, what the fuck? Like, whatever. But that is a good one of his. Jess Franco's Dracula. That one, everything lined up. Plus, you've got Soledad Miranda in it. She plays Lucy. Yeah. It's a good time. Good movie. Anyway, guys, so that's what I will be watching tonight. Hammer Dracula, Madhouse, and The Last Man on Earth. So I just wanted to check in with you guys, see if you guys were watching anything for the trio's birthday. See what was new with you guys. I hope you guys are having a kick-ass weekend. I uploaded some videos today, so hopefully you guys can check those out. And I will be back with some more monsters and more horror movies, science fiction, and martial arts fun shortly. All right, my friends. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you later.